officers lie. The path along the tracks to the engine sheds was a long, cumbersome one. They found it mercifully unencumbered, however, by the crowding of the myriad travelers present in the station proper. Holmes and Watson were alone as they crossed to the outer platform.
I see this case has given you somewhat of a zest, Holmes.
Yes.
I must say I was distressed to see you in that state.
Yes.
That sort of grumpy consternation does not do you well, my friend. It's good to see you in this state.
Yes.
By God, man, is that all you can muster is yes?
Yeah. So come now, Watson, make a deduction yourself for once. A case these days is as rare as the teeth of a hen. Now this case, oh, now this is a real high.
So what are your theories then?
I have no theories.
None? None at all?
Well, I haven't seen all the evidence. Only when you have seen the data can you come to possible conclusions. Can't let myself become biased, now can I?
Well, the suspects are Lyons, the engineer Milton, what's his name, and the fireman Fitzpatrick.
Mr. Masterson, remember him, mentioned an estranged wife.
Ah, yes, Maureen.
Do I suspect her? Do I suspect her?
Oh,
I-
you
do you
suspect
suspect
her?
her? I think you're going to ask if I suspect her.
But there was rain on my brim.
No, I can't suspect her yet. Tell me, let me explain it this way. How can you tell if someone is lying?
I don't know, watch their lips. See if they scratch their ear. How?
You can't. Any man could be a liar or a truther. And because any man can be a liar or a truther, you cannot think that they are one or the other. You must think of them as both at the same time, and only remember the words they tell you and not believe them.
So who can we believe?
There's only one man who never lies. Aren't you going to ask me who that is?
Who might that be?
His name's Data. He never lies. You can believe that.
Along the length of the Bad Luck Special, as they investigated the coaches, Dr. Watson took care to count each and every one until they reached Coach 13, which lived up to its name, having exactly 12 coaches in front of it. There, at Coach 13, they met a familiar face. Standing at the carriage door was Inspector Graham Lestrade, their police confidant from the Scotland Yard office.
Hi.
Who hired you? Hi.
Good to see you too, my friend.
So you gentlemen might like to know that Coach 13 has been empty since the incident. Nothing and no one has been in or out.
Good things to know indeed. Now, I have been assured that the doors were locked from the outside for the whole journey.
That's correct.
And yet, was it possible to move along the coaches via the connecting doors?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. As for the other coaches, I checked them. Their outer doors were all locked too. Anyway, it would have been impossible for the thieves to have moved them along the carriages to eject them. The boxes were too big to fit through the connecting doors, only the side doors.
But is it certain that the boxes were moved all together, or could they been opened and the gold moved bar by bar?
Oh, I'm quite certain, Dr. Watson. Not without the keys. They were unique to every box.
Besides, Watson, if they had removed the gold bar by bar, the boxes themselves would still need air. Speaking of which, Inspector Lestrade, is the coach just as it was found? Has anything been interfered with or tampered with at all?
As I said, Mr. Holmes, nothing has been touched. The last person to enter before us now was Don Lyons, the guard. The train was sectioned off from the public for investigators the moment the theft was reported.
All right. Ah, no gold in here, surely. This is grease-proof paper. Seems to be the wrappings for Lyons sandwiches. That's his can of coffee. Curious.
Curious that he had a can of coffee? He said so himself.
No. Curious that under so much stress, he should be so tidy.
Holmes?
Never mind. What do you make of this trinket, Watson?
Strange.
And so that too, Mr. Holmes. I was baffled by it. It seems to be some sort of a decorative ladies' clothing piece or something.
A hair tie, I think. This seems to indicate that the thief is a woman. A female.
That would explain how they might have been able to conceal themselves in another carriage.
There is a smell to it. French perfume. Not cheap stuff, but it's like an old scent. Seems this hair tie has not actually been worn for some time.
So can we be certain that it belongs to the thief?
Well, I can only say this, Watson. We're nearing our conclusion. Please allow the staff of the Bad Luck Special a cab to 221B Baker Street. You could join them on the journey, and of course, be so kind as to wire Mr. Benedict Masterson. I should think you would like to join us for our little gathering.
All right, what about Willis?
You can if you want. Seems very tired though.
We're done.
Oh, wrong leg.
The sitting room of 221B Baker Street was utterly full now.
You forgot to read the chapter title.
Mr. Lyons, the driver and fireman, Holmes and Watson, and of course Mr. Masterson. Only one man remained to arrive. Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard.
We don't know what our address is now. Where the hell are we? And also, it's falling apart. Oh, you have me back. There you go.
There, now we know.
When Lestrade did arrive, the open door let in the sound of the still pouring rain outside. When he accepted his seat, the gathering turned hushed, filled with quiet and expectant tension.
Well,
I said quiet and expectant tension.
well, this has certainly been a baffling business. Mr. Holmes, I assume we are gathered here because you've picked up some clues. You are certainly a man equal to his reputation, sir. It seems to be a rainstorm out there, but a regular brainstorm in here.
You may growl if you'd like, yeah.
I can't stand those puns.
Well, Dr. Watson mentioned a red silk trinket of some sort.
Yes.
He's been saying that all day.
Here it is. It is a piece of perfumed fabric. The clear message is that someone was concealing themselves in one of the coaches, possibly Coach 13 itself. Furthermore, the thief is likely female.
Female, you say? Oh dear.
If I may, we will return to that matter later. For now, Mr. Lyons, I'd like to discuss your sandwiches.
These sandwiches again, sir?
Just so, the sandwiches you brought on board Coach 13, yes, yesterevening, a word I seem to have made up, along with the seed cake and canned coffee. You informed me this afternoon that you ate them just before you fell asleep aboard Coach 13.
That is correct, sir.
You ate the sandwiches and the seed cake, you dozed off, you woke up again, and the gold was gone.
Correct.
You were very agitated?
Extremely.
You
Yes.
said it was like a nightmare,
A bloody nightmare.
and you were too stunned even to call for the train to stop.
Yes.
And you were too stunned to sweep the floor.
Sorry, sir?
I assume you did not sweep the floor at that point, in that disturbed state. Did you or did you not?
Sir, that's not my job.
Quite. One wouldn't expect you to. And that makes it very difficult to explain why, when I investigated the coach this afternoon, I found not a single crumb on the floor. Now, can anyone here explain how a man can eat a slice of seed cake and multiple sandwiches without spilling a single crumb? Or maybe a single seed?
I am telling the truth.
Well, I have no doubt about that, Mr. Lyons, that you remember what you bought and exactly what you ate, I'm sure. My point is, you were not aboard Coach 13 when you ate them.
What are you trying to say, sir?
I'm trying to say you were not on board Coach 13 when you ate them. Acoustics in here, I'm so great.
I am telling the truth, sir. On my honor. On the honor of my son, Percy, and on the honor of my wife.
Well, come on, sit down, Mr. Lyons, please. You were in a carriage, and that carriage was on the Bad Luck Special on the night in question, yesterday evening. But not in the coach in which the remains of your meal were found. You were in the coach with the gold, and that coach never made it to London at all.
People, right here, it says the audience pauses for amazement, absolute amazement. So everyone,
Yes, on a detecting God.
good.
I think he's about to say that
Mr. Holmes, this is confusing.
Oh, confusing? No. On the contrary, Mr. Masterson, I think the answer is very clear. The coach containing the gold was uncoupled from the train when they stopped for water, run into a siding by those awaiting it, and unloaded of its conveyance at their leisure during the night. Mr. Fitzpatrick indicated it was a perfectly dark evening. There was no moon.
That's right, sir, that's right.
So the railwayman could see nothing of the back of the train.
But God, the Bad Luck Special has had 13 cars, never any more, never any less.
That's right, sir. What are you getting at? Are you trying to suggest that we should waste our time counting every train at Paddington?
Besides, Holmes, I met you at Coach 13, and you yourself will have noted that you and Dr. Watson passed by exactly 12 coaches.
Oh, it has 13 coaches now, Inspector, and before yesterevening, it had the same. But it was only after we left Bristol and it's pleasant and tired Station Foreman Willis, who I hope has gotten enough sleep, that I truly considered what he had said of the loading and departure. And he never once mentioned counting up the coaches. The truth is, he didn't. And he didn't believe he needed to. As you indicated, Mr. Fitzpatrick, it'd be a tremendous waste of time to count up all the coaches every time a train departs. You too are correct, Mr. Milton. The Bad Luck Special has 13 coaches, and never has it had any more or any less, so no one was to know that some bad actors had coupled an extra coach to it. A coach with its seats stripped out to make it virtually identical to the gold-carrying car. On that night, the Bad Luck Special had not 13, but 14 coaches. When the train stopped to acquire water, it simultaneously shed a coach, and it nearly shed a guard. You're a very fortunate man, Mr. Lyons.
I don't feel so fortunate, Mr. Holmes.
Your good fortune is that you're still alive. Your good fortune is that you fell asleep. Imagine if you had not. The train would stop, the thieves would uncouple the coach with yourself inside, and you'd become a risk as soon as you saw them. It would be quite the shame for that, Percy to lose his hard-working father.
What does it all mean, Holmes?
It means that as they were uncoupling the 14th coach, obviously, someone noticed Mr. Lyons inside, deeply aslumber. They took the opportunity to move Mr. Lyons and the sandwich wrappers and can of coffee into coach 13 and plant a bit of evidence to throw me off. So they left a perfectly clean getaway, all missing gold, no missing guard, no missing litter either.
I am full of admiration, Mr. Holmes,
I know.
but at the same time, I feel somewhat desolate.
Desolate.
Wow. Your deduction clearly means someone in my company has double-crossed me.
Yes. And that brings me rather nicely, thank you, onto the ring of scarlet silk discovered in the carriage. Oh, certainly an interesting accessory to the problem. And as Dr. Watson noted, it's also an accessory for a woman.
But there is the mystery of how she would have gotten in there, or what she might have done.
As I was about to say, that is the sort of question which in my line of work is quite rare, because it has a very simple solution.
You're saying my estranged wife, Maureen. Good God, that foolish girl.
Oh, come on now, Mr. Masterson. You know your wife had nothing to do with this at all.
Now, this was the sort of face and the tone he invoked when Sherlock Holmes delivered an accusation about which he was completely and unshakably certain.
The only people aboard that night were the engineer, fireman, and guard, and none of them had anything to do with this.
Oh.
As for the thieves, they are to be who knows where and counting up a hoard of bullion. Apart, of course, from their paymaster, who sits in this very room. Is that not so, Mr. Masterson?
How dare you,
What?
sir? What evidence have you for such an outrageous claim?
The truth is, I had misgivings from the start. The theft must have occurred in the small hours, say 4:30 a.m., while Lyons was asleep. The train, as you said, arrived at 6 a.m., and then you arrived here very early in the morning. Now, what could compel a dealer of gold to come to a private consulting detective so quickly after a massive theft when there'd be so much to do first? I see now you were keen to demonstrate to the ever suspicious insurance company that you were doing all within your power to recover the gold because, of course, it'd be very convenient for a rich man like yourself to have both the gold and the insurance payout.
Audience, it says amazement once again.
At that thought, I would like Mr. Lyons to produce that photograph you showed me. Did you not say you carried it with you everywhere?
Just a small memento.
Oh, that baby looks pretty familiar. Who could it be? Look at this child, Benedict Masterson. No, you just
Not
look
yet.
at it first.
Oh, all right.
Percy is his name. And if Mr. Lyons had not had the good sense to fall asleep on the job and your men saw him in that carriage, the child you see here would have grown up without his hard-working, upstanding father. You were prepared not just to steal, but to be an accessory to murder.
Now?
Slap it away.
You will withdraw these filthy speculations this instant. What a petty move. Trying to guilt me into some false confession with a picture of that wealth.
You low down bastard. I should have known that you were behind this from the beginning. Ah,
Quiet, Mr. Hilton.
Milton, you bloody American fool.
Oh, let's all calm down, shall we? Mr. Holmes, you strike me as an intelligent person.
Do I?
You couldn't possibly suspect me. What about that red silk ring?
Ah, yes, you've been very subtle about that, Mr. Masterson. I seem to be sitting on it. Mentioning your wife's name one minute and the next minute assuring me she couldn't possibly have had anything to do with this. Very suspicious, I think.
You all seem like rational men. As a client of railways myself, I feel your plight. What if I could offer you all enough money to retire? You'd never have to break your back again. Huh? And Mr. Fat Padlock?
It's Fat Patrick. I mean, Fitzgerald. I mean,
Oh, yes, fits badly. What about you, Mr. Lyons? Imagine a big home for yourself in the country. How would little Peter, a Patrick, like a big open field to play in?
How would you like?
No violence here.
Yes, Percy? And he don't need no big field, and I don't need no money to make me feel like a man. You pun-slinging grifter, you.
Whoop-de-doo.
Fancy pants and all of that. I don't need it to feel like a man.
I would ask you all to consider, what was that item, if not a red hair ring? And is that not for one who can never resist a pun obviously meant to be a red herring? What fun you no doubt intended to have with that one. That was one pun, Mr. Masterson, which you would have done well to have resisted. Take him away.
You're under arrest, sir.
Can I do that? Can I tell the guys to take him away?
Off with his head.
Off with his hat.
Get out of here.
Whether justice was truly done in the case of the bad luck special larceny is a moot point, I think. In expectation of.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Tell Masterson to keep his mouth shut.
Quiet in the green room. You can't script that. It's a little trolling. It's
I
called
should have
doing
given him a little more time. Well, anyway, whether justice was truly done in the case of the bad luck special larceny is in fact a moot point. In expectation of reducing his sentence, Benedict Masterson revealed the location of the gold, his accomplices, and that they spirited away on that night, and all the names of those accomplices. They were committed to jail alongside their paymaster, who had now plenty of time to think up new puns. This time, the joke was on him. The next day, the rainstorm had stopped at long last, and finally, the sun shone down through the bright white clouds.
Rest assured, Holmes, he will get his just punishment.
He wrote that one.
Pass that over here. A good sipping drink sure goes down well at a time like this.
Just stop.
Cheers.
You forgot to drink.
I'm not going to.
Good. Not poison.
I am to understand this recent case was a bright new challenge for you. But what about it? What made you so chipper?
Man is never more content, Watson, than when doing well what his nature has shaped him to do.
Yes!
Ready? Now.
And part
He's
two.
our author.
Part two of this will be happening probably in a few months here. So there's another complete story. We didn't want to make it so long that some folks got uncomfortable.
What's the name of that,
But
Holmes?
this is a continuing.
The Mossovy House.
harrowing-
Holmes Part Two.
And you might recognize some of the players who
Some
will
of-
be
some of the
returning.
actors.
Some of the
Yeah.
characters
Yeah.
will still be here.
Yeah, I wrote 2 plays for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming.
I am a writing god.